on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you watch me from. Thank y'all so much for joining the live stream today. And of course, it's the panel. I don't know why I wrote that on my name. I guess I'm going to see if I can edit that. But yeah, let me edit that. I don't need the panel on there. It's obvious the panel's on there. I want to give a shout out to the NTZ crew. That's my moderators, Michael Beecher Life and Jacob Tanjay. They keep the live stream respectable. So you guys don't have to worry about trolls coming on here talking crazy about you. Also, I want to welcome any new viewers and subscribers to the live stream, to the panel. Because I see now a couple more vloggers over here are putting together their own panel. So maybe, we're starting something, Fred. I don't know.
I think you are.
Yeah. Let's see. When I checked the exchange rate, it was 56.96, which is just unbelievably high, guys. I don't know what to say about that. But
so basically, if you pull out 5,000 pesos, I went yesterday and pulled out 5,000. Rather than being $100, $100 US, it was $80 US.
Wow. Yeah. Great point, Gail. And I'm going to let my panel introduce themselves. But first, I just want to talk about something real quick. I made a video yesterday. It was called, I came to the Philippines to escape the triangle of death in America. Of course, I got a lot of pushback on that, specifically about the police. Now, remember, anybody who has a third grade education knows that a triangle has three sides to it, Fred. Okay, I wasn't singling out the police, first of all. But second of all, okay, don't pretend that this is no coincidence. At the time I was doing that video, over in Canada, 2 thugs killed 10 people and injured 15 in a knife-wielding attack for absolutely nothing, Fred. See, this is the thug part I'm talking about, because if you don't know what the triangle of death was for me, it's stress, thugs, and the police. Okay, but there's no free speech in the West anymore. It's like, be quiet and pretend like everything's okay. Because when somebody like me says, hey, I left because of this, this, and that, I get a pushback. All the police, they're not as bad as you think it is. See, that's another thing that bothers me when I'm 59. When people try to tell me what I've been seeing, living, and experiencing my whole life, it's not real. Okay, when I know it is. They'll shoot a guy like me in America because they fear for their life. I might have a broken tail light, but you have a guy like that Dylan guy who kills those people in prayer meeting, the little white guy that killed those people down at the prayer meeting in South Carolina. Not only do they apprehend this guy, Fred, they're looking for a killer, Fred. He's already killed people. They know he's armed and dangerous. They apprehend him. Then they take him to Burger King. So come on, guys, with the pushback on reality. But what happens is this. We got so many distractions over there, and they do that on purpose to keep your mind off what's really going on over there. So when I talk about stuff like I did yesterday, people are like, oh, we don't want to hear that. What's the score of the football game or whatever it is? They don't want you talking about reality. But here's one more thing, and then we'll get going. It's actually worse than what I'm telling y'all in that video. Yeah. It's actually worse over there. But I made a mistake. I said 67% of homicides go unsolved in Louisville, Kentucky. It's actually 65%. And they need to shut a police station like that down. We're not talking about 2 or 3 murders. We're talking about 125 murders. 65% are unsolved. There's a lot of killers just roaming around in the city. What police should keep his job with a figure like that? But let's go on. I just wanted to say that because I got so much pushback on why I left America. This is why I left. It's my perspective. You can't tell me why I left. But anyway, we're going to start with you, Gail. We got Gail back. He's been on here before. Kind of introduce yourself briefly, Gail, a little bit about your channel, how long you've been in the Philippines, etc.
Sure. Well, my name is Gail, and I live here in San Carlos City with Calvin. Well, not with Calvin. we're across the highway from each other, but yeah, we moved over here in 2017. So we, in fact, next month in a few weeks, we'll have been here 5 years. So married to a Filipina, of course. I married her in 2012. I went the route of the K-1 visa, brought her over to the U.S. We got married. She spent 5 years there, got her, her American citizenship. And then in 2017, we came over here and she's dual citizen, all that kind of stuff. I'm permanent resident visa myself personally. My channel, the G5 Philippines channel, started out as my wife, vlogging her experience, and she kind of got bored with it and it went abandoned for a while. So I kind of picked it up a couple of years ago and started throwing up, little vlogs of my own. And then actually, I started taking it serious last year, but I kind of amped it up this year after meeting Calvin. Actually kind of inspired me he told me that I should share the successful side of being married to a Filipina rather than the difficult or the challenging or the negative side of those kinds of things that can happen. But long story short, the channel is actually starting to pick up. A lot of my content is really more like how to get your 13A visa, how to get I just renewed my driver's license. I'm putting together a vlog on how to renew. And then I also have my little philosophical talks too that I put up about things. But yeah, that's it. Other than that, we've got 3 kids. I'm a musician. I love playing and recording music. We started a little church fellowship here. We actually have Sunday morning services right here at the house under the carport. And so that's kind of fun. I'm doing a little bit of worship music and a little devotional teaching. And we're starting to get folks coming in from the neighborhood. But yeah, other than that, just happy-go-lucky, happy as a lark here in the Philippines.
Thank you, Gail. Now, I forgot to give Gail credit. He's the creator of that flyby of Center Mall video that I posted. That was a gift to me because I asked him, I said, hey, how much would you charge me to do a flyby over Center Mall? Because I was going to do something different to it, but it's on my computer and I'm limited right now what I can do. I was going to do a voiceover, and Gail said, no, I'll do it for you for free. He also did a flyby over my house and little surrounding areas. I've got to come over there and get that, Gail. Gail got a real studio in his house, man. It's really nice. I went over there and did one song, Gail, but I'm going to have to make up for that because I told you that I came over there after my live stream. My voice was shot.
Yeah.
I have to redeem myself, Fred. Got it all over there, man.
It wasn't too bad. It was okay.
Yeah, but see, I wanted just a little bit better because I know I can do better. But anyway, yeah, his drone, he doesn't do that anymore. But
I'm doing. I didn't mention that before, but I'm actually my day job is I'm very heavily involved in the drone industry, commercial industry, doing consulting.
Okay.
So I don't get out and fly commercially as much anymore as I did, a few years ago. But but now I'm doing consulting. But I was going to say on your video, on the one, I wasn't expecting you to upload the entire footage that I wanted you to take little bits, because people will get bored watching that. But hey, it's okay with me. Whatever you want to do. I'll actually, what I'll do is for the one I took shot of your house, I'll actually cut that down to about a 3-minute. Put a little music track on there for you, so you can just upload it straight up. So. Yeah.
Okay, well, can you make it about? Maybe make it. How long is it? If it's make it at least.
I flew it. Yeah, I flew it from here at my house. I flew it from here, launched it, and flew across the highway over to the subdivision over there, and so it's however long it took to get over there, and then I got some different shots and stuff like that. I'll cut it down to where it's a nice little handsome video. So
give me at least 7 minutes, because people like watching that. That's why I uploaded that whole thing, man, because they don't get that on my channel. See, I don't do drones.
Right. And I shared on a couple of the comments on that video. I hope I took some liberty, but I actually shared a playlist, a link to a playlist that I have where I've done drone tours of many, beach resorts and things like that around the Philippines. So I threw a link up in the comments with that playlist. So people, if they like the drone stuff. Yeah.
Thanks for the super chat. He said JG spent some money. And then John Gomez, thanks for the super chat. He said, Haitian, what are you talking about? But let's go ahead with Sharon Lapu. Can you introduce yourself? What's going on?
Okay, I'm good and I'm doing well. And fortunately, I've been visited my parents and to my island again, because it was been a very long time that I've never been there. And I am close to 1,000 subscribers, so please subscribe my channel because I will upload more interesting videos.
Well, good. Thank you, John Gomez. He said, what are you talking about, Haitian gunman? That's the one. I missed that. Hey, Otis, thanks for that super sticker. Then we got OG Fred. Just kind of briefly give us your background. We know some guy actually asked me, what does OG stand for?
That was funny. My name is Fred. Calvin gave me put the OG on my name there. And, I'm married to a Filipina. We're been married about 34 years, coming up the first of the year. And, we live here on Guam. We've been out here since 92. My wife is still in the workforce. Of course, she's an American citizen. And we're going to move probably to the Philippines on and off, after she retires. I retired this December, will be 3 years for me, for my second job. I'm retired Air Force also.
Wow. Congratulations. Thanks for your service.
And, actually what I wanted to say, I saw that video you put up, the drone. And Lynn was asking me, did Calvin have a drone? I said, Calvin too cheap to buy a drone. I said, somebody else had to do that. And Gail, I saw your name on there. Now I see who did it because I can see your G there. So but I enjoyed it. Calvin's right. People do like stuff like that. Because Pumpkin Joe, once in a while, he'll throw some stuff up there that I like seeing.
You took the words out of my mouth. But here's this is another reason why I didn't put any kind of music or commentary on it, because it takes away from the artwork. And that's a piece of art that he put up there. But if you can appreciate it, W Secrets to Success. He says, hey, Cal, I thought you had bought me something you didn't know how to work the audio. I couldn't watch you without some commentary. I don't want to do that because it takes away. That's just like you putting a mustache on the Mona Lisa or something.
Oh, man.
I'm playing a rap video,
Well, let me just interject, because this is what I do, for a long time. The problem with drone videos is just like you're getting the comments about the music, this, that, and the other, and typically the view retention is like 20% on a 3-minute drone video, because you look at, people look at it and they're like, okay, cool, and then they move on. So that's why I try to keep them sort of short and tight. I'd also try to give it a little boost with some music or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, but please don't compare that to Mona Lisa. I mean, goodness gracious.
No, I actually had, okay, now the app that I've got on my computer, they tell you that the music is free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you put it on there, then you put it on YouTube.
Let me explain.
Explain
It is free. It is free to download, but then you have royalties. So there's number one, free download. Number two, royalty free. So and by the way, I've gotten bitten in the butt on that myself, because I go through the process. I build a video. I put hours of work into creating a nice piece, and then 6 months, a year later, all of a sudden somebody sells the rights to that song, to that track, to a different publishing company. And now all of a sudden that publishing company takes the copyright, and now it's no longer free. So I've had to take videos down that are now getting a copyright. It's a copyright claim. It's not a strike, but in any case, you can't monetize it. So yeah. So you got to download, free download, and free royalties. That's the two pieces you got to look for.
Yeah, what I should have did, Gail, in hindsight 2020, was had you send me an original track.
Yeah.
Original track, rather, from your library, because this guy makes music, man. He's got it all over there. Drums, bass, guitar. He's got a real microphone. He's got the whole setup, man. I was really impressed when I went over there.
I'm never out of arm's reach of my instruments. That's my primary passion.
Now the subject, we really don't have a subject, but I was telling them, Fred, before you came on here, was, we normally don't have when we do the panel, we don't have a subject, but we want to talk about what was your jumping off point, meaning either to move out of the United States, to change jobs, to get a divorce, to get married, because everybody has that fork in the road moment where they got to make a decision. Do I go this way or do I go this way? And let's kind of talk about that today, because that's really what my video was about yesterday. I just reached that jumping off point where I said, hey, either I'm going to do something different, I'm going to go crazy. And so I left. I took some action and I left. I didn't just complain, because that's my big thing. Don't complain if you're not going to do anything about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Let's start with you, Sharon. What was your jumping off point? Because I know you had been married to a foreigner before. Maybe it was, I'm tired of dating Filipino men. Now I'm dating a foreigner. What was your jumping off point when you said, enough's enough. I got to do something different with my life?
Okay. I had no so much relationship with Filipino guy, because I don't know why they don't give me attention. And then, so that's why I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna move to another way. So what if I'm gonna try to go online dating to have a foreigner boyfriend? Perhaps they give attention to me, but fortunately they give attention to me. And then some of my friends, they said that perhaps it's my beauty is attractive to foreign guy, not to Filipino guy.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be one time you woke up and said, I want a better life for me and my daughter. So you decided to go door to door selling, what is it, banana Q? Didn't you at one time think about being an OFW or something?
No, I've been thinking to being working as an OFW, but as what I see on the television news, that there were quite a lot of OFW hurting by their employer, and then Sometimes they jump from the window so that they can escape their employers. So that's why I thought to myself, no, I'm gonna find. I am trying to find a job here in the Philippines because I cannot take if what happened for me and other country, and then my daughter is too young that when I will die, and then it's different. The taker of the mother to her daughter is different if the grandmother or the your sister-in-law take care of your daughter.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I saw some children here that their mother work in abroad, but the family or the sister-in-law treat that little girl it's different than
Yeah.
their own children. So that's why I told to myself, no, I must not leave my daughter in at the young age.
Okay. Yeah. John Gomez says, I'm there now, Calvin. I'm looking left and right. And see, that's why I like to have these type of discussions, man, because these are real life discussions. People are right there, right now, and you have to make a decision. Am I going to stay here and suffer? The house is on fire, Fred. At some point, most people die in a fire. They die of smoke inhalation. It's not from the fire.
Right.
They could just
Right.
got out in time. They would have been okay. It wasn't the fire that killed them. And a lot of us, our house is on fire. And if you don't leave, you're going to die of smoke inhalation. I'm sorry. And
Hmm.
then all your energy is going to be gone. All your motivation is going to be gone. And you're just going to stay stuck there and die. Okay, well, what about you, Gail? Have you tell us about a jumping off point? Not all of them.
You already know I can get long winded. Well, let's just stick to why marry a Filipina and why move to the Philippines, and I'll just keep it concise to that. I had a pretty good life in the U.S. No real complaints. Good work, good living experience, etc. I had my sweet Filipina there. We had our first two kids in the U.S. and there was two things that sort of for me was like in my mid 40s. I was burning out, on the day job. I'll just keep it that simple. We can all talk about that for days, but I was just burnt out with the day job, which is actually what got me into the drone industry. But there was that, and then I was divorced and all of that business. Fast forward, I get married to a Filipina, so now I've got a good life, except I really don't like my work situation. And when we would come to the Philippines and visit, I'm similar to Calvin in the sense that I began to see the need here, whether it was my wife's family or even as we would go to the grocery store, I would just see the need. And again, just keep it concise to that. And so I began to think, wow, I'm in the US in Nashville, I'm just another sales guy. I'm just another musician. I'm just another guy on the street. But if I brought my mediocre set of talents and skills and experience to the Philippines, perhaps I could make a contribution and perhaps make a difference, and actually leave a mark, leave a legacy of some sort. And so that's where it kind of started for me. And then the jumping off point was, my kids. I didn't want to raise my kids in American culture. And I'm a very, very proud red, white, and blue American. Don't misunderstand me. But at the same time, I just don't like the way the culture has evolved. And one of the things that appealed to me about the Philippines was, of course, the culture. And then I'm married to a Filipina. We're having our children. I want my kids to grow up like her. I want them to grow up to be like her. And so if there was a jumping off point or a major decision maker, it was really those two things. I just want to matter in life. I want to leave a legacy. And part of that legacy is my children. I want to raise them up to be good people, good, wholesome values, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's about as nutshell as I can get it.
Well, that's really wonderful. And I'm so glad to hear it from you, Gail, Anglo-Saxon male. And, color I wasn't raised up like that, but just to hear it from you to say, hey, I had to get out of America. Your triangle was different than mine, but the triangle is there.
Right.
You said
It
something
exists.
about culture.
Yeah.
See, and this is where I was trying to talk to this former policeman. He was like, I know what happened to you. That incident was terrible, but you can't label all police. And I said, I'm not labeling all police, but there's a culture in the police department that treats people like me differently. And whether you want to be in denial, I'm sorry, but it's true. Okay. Yeah. Now, what about you, Fred? I know I'm going to ask you why you joined the service. I guess you were tired of shining shoes over there.
Actually, Calvin, you crazy.
What was one of your jumping off points, Fred?
What it was, I was working for General Motors. I graduated from high school, of course, when I was 18, had various jobs, and I started working for General Motors about that time. And then it started out okay. And then I started working a night shift and everything else. I had no time to myself. And I said, I just can't see myself working in some factory, General Motors, for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I said, that's not for me. And I told my dad I didn't, really want to work there anymore. He said, well, you got to do something. I said, well, I'll go in the military. So I went in the Air Force when I was 19. And, of course, you go in. The tip was only stay in for 4 years and get out because I had a good job waiting for me. But I liked it so much. Then I started going overseas. I said, I'm going to stay. So I stayed there 21 years. With most of my military career was all in the Philippines. I've been through Thailand, Korea, and the Philippines. So when I finally went back, I left the States for the third time, been military in 76. I went back in 89. I retired in 1990. I had culture shock when I went back to the States after living in the Philippines, because Philippine lifestyle was just so different, than it is living back in the States. And I already knew I wasn't going to stay in the States, but then I wanted to do this business in the Philippines. So that was just like a temporary stopping point till I could get back there. But when Mount Pinatubo went up, man, I didn't have a plan B. All I had was a plan A. So my best friend was here on Guam. He said, why don't you come to Guam? I thought about it, and I said, why not? So I was only in the States after I got out the military and been in the States. I was only there for 3 years before I moved out to Guam in 92. And I've been out here ever since, which is close to the Philippines.
When you
I knew I couldn't live back there. I knew I couldn't live back
when you were growing up, see, Fred, you're a little bit older than me. I can't remember a whole lot of what was going on, but I know you faced that racism and stuff over there, right? You saw it.
Well, when you live in the North, it was kind of subtle. It was there.
Yeah.
I remember when Martin
Luther
Luther
King. Down south.
Yeah.
And you could look at the newspaper.
Yeah, you could see it. I mean, it was all over the TV set.
Did that ever cross your mind? Like, I don't know, this is enough. I'm leaving this place. I don't want to deal with that.
Well, at the time, being a young person, a lot of things you don't think about at that time, because I went in the military when I was so young, I didn't get faced with a lot of that stuff. Maybe my mom and dad shielded us from certain things, but the time we grew up in, it was a mixture of people. So it wasn't all black people. We have black people living there, Italians. There was Greek. There was Spanish, Puerto Rican. We all lived there. We have 4 different schools. Wherever you live is where you went to school, but we only have one high school. So I grew up in a small town. So everybody knew each other. And I had the same teachers my mom had when she was in school, because my mom grew up there.
Yeah. But the one story I can remember is when my dad was trying to buy a house at the top of the hill. At the top of the hill, that's where the elite always stay, the upper crust, as you want to call it. And he couldn't move up there, because he moved up there, they would have burnt you out. Even in the North, we're talking about this. So that was my first, experience with it. And then my grandmother's white, which I was a kid. I didn't know she was white. She was my grandmother, all I knew. And she told me, I came home one day and asked her, was she white? Because somebody told me my grandmother was white. And so I asked her, she said, yeah.
She said, "What about it?" I said, "Nothing. I went on by my way. I never gave any thought after that." But when you start saying stuff, Kelvin, when you go in the military, that's when you start seeing a lot of stuff. Subtle, but it's there.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I can say about the military, it opened up my eyes. I'm just a little country boy from Louisville, Kentucky. But when you start going overseas and you start experiencing certain things, when you come back home,
Yeah.
it's never the same. And see, you're like me, Fred. My grandmother was white, basically, because she passed as white, and that's the only way she was able to get a job. And when we'd see her downtown at her job, she worked at the department store, we couldn't speak to her because if we did, she'd lose her job.
Yeah.
But anyway, Gail, one thing, what happened to that news channel you had, Gail? Because that was a great idea, man. You should have kept that going. And because I'm
Well,
gonna tell you something. Let me finish. People were commenting and sending me messages that, hey, if Gail's still gonna do that, I'm looking forward to his next, newscast. You was becoming the Walter Cronkite of the Philippines.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up because honestly, life gets in the way of a lot of things. I've got a lot of work, opportunities that I've been, really crunching on for the last 6 months. And so I had to sort of choose. The G5 Philippines channel is monetized. So that's where I'm putting the thrust of my energy on that. The G5 News channel is not. And so, I mean, at this point, it's only got 49 subscribers. But yeah, I actually really enjoy that. And as I mentioned to you in chat the other day, I think I'm just going to start in a sense. Basically, this is going to probably inspire me to go ahead and at least do a weekly. When I started it, I was doing dailies, and man, that was tough because by the time I do all of my research, compile my news pieces, and I tried to do it live a couple of times, but I'm not as talented a speaker as you are. I do all of the and I just hate that. So for me, I've got to pre-record it, edit it down, and script it even a little bit so that it's a nice tight report. And I was trying to keep them short, but yeah, I appreciate the feedback on that because I think it's a good idea too. I think Americans who are interested in the Philippines or have family in the Philippines or have a girlfriend in the Philippines, they're going to be interested in knowing what news that's relevant to Americans, and that was the concept behind it. Yeah.
Sharon, I want to ask you something. I was watching, I guess it's your latest video. You were riding one of those boats, either coming from your island, where you were born, or coming back.
Yeah.
Why didn't you interview any people over there?
No, because they are so very ashamed and they don't speak English not in a good way. And then they are so very ashamed to make an interview. If they are in front of camera, they say hi, but if you make an interview to them, no, they refuse.
Yeah, I meant to say, that's why I left Devon's comment up there for so long.
Yeah,
I wanted to give a shout out to him and his wife. He came to the Philippines. They actually came over here. We visited her family and they little compound where they're thinking about building. And he's a great guy, really. They're down to earth. And I really enjoyed the visit. He said he met you, Gail.
Yeah, we went over. We had dinner. They invited us over for lechon and a big party. It was great. We loaded up.
Yeah,
my wife's family actually knows his wife's family. They all are from Medina, which is just outside of San Carlos. They especially my wife's father knows his wife's family very well. So it was a cool visit.
Okay, Cat PI Food says, "Hey, how's Dana Middleton doing? Have not seen him on your panel. I think he's mad at me for the monk mode comment, which I wasn't talking about you, Dana, again." And then he says, "I made fun of him because his long distance relationship ran off from him." But it happens to everybody. If you study long, you study wrong. You can't be chatting with these women forever, thinking they're gonna wait on you. Okay, it's first come, first serve, and and there's nothing to be mad about, guys. I mean, we're grown men. We don't have to be so sensitive. I mean, I would apologize if I knew it would do any good, but then I'd say something else, and then you get angry. So I don't know, man. Just I'm gonna tell you and anybody like that, don't start a YouTube channel, okay? Because once you get popular, they're gonna come for you, man. And you think that I'm saying something, man? I try to avoid putting anybody down, insulting anybody, or anything like that because I'm trying to build a community.
Yeah.
And I think I'm doing a pretty good job right now.
You're doing a great job of it. Yeah.
Who are coming over here and and everything like that, guys. So no, don't take it personal. But that's what it is. He's angry at me because he sent me an email, man. I mean, he let me have it, Fred. And I said, okay, he can vent if he wants to. But bottom line is, once you get over here, all that'll be gone. We'll be best friends again because a lot of us just need a tune-up, man. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And this is a
well, Calvin, it's a big difference with folks who have actually lived overseas for a length of time. Like I lived in Thailand, I lived in Korea, and I lived in the Philippines. But what's nice about it, I met a great bunch of guys who took me up under their wing, and they taught me things I didn't know. Because you come overseas, you can't bring that Western mentality with you. Like me and you, Calvin, we joke back and forth. I don't take offense to anything you say because it's funny. I mean, you gotta have a sense of humor, man. You go through life, looking serious all the time. I got people I notice like that, like they never smile. They complain all the time. And if you're around those type of people, give off those negative type vibes, you're going to catch it yourself. So I avoid those type of people. I like to be around people that give me good vibes.
They try to blame me, but they're like that already. There's no way you can hear something on my channel to upset you that bad. I mean, it's just so many guys that disappeared. I'm like, come on, man. You already had that going on. Women didn't want you before you met Sunshine Shoulders. Like I'm the reason why you're single or divorced or whatever it is. So Sharon, what's coming up on your channel? I know that you've been putting out a lot of content. Do you do a vlog every day?
Yes, and actually today after the panel, I will go to Cebu City, and I will ride not jeepney. I will ride a ferry boat for me to take the less traffic and how to go to Cebu City without stocking on the traffic, and for you to go there very quickly and show the center place of Cebu City where to buy cheap fruits, cheap clothes, and other things.
Yeah, but we still don't know you, Sharon. When you going to really talk about your life and let us know you, let us into your life, because this when you're going to see your subscribers grow, your views grow, when people feel that they know you. If you're going to keep us on the outside, we're going to be like, okay, we're going to look a little bit. And if you're not Barbara Walters, we're going to keep going. But if you let us in and know who Sharon really is and let your content reflect that, then you're going to see.
That's why I went to the island so that my subscriber know about my family background. I mean, my parents, to show to my parents, and then the place where I grew up, and then the way people living there, how where they get water for their daily news. And then what I share is just only a little part of the island, but next time, maybe next month, I will show the other places where there were most of the on that place, most of people live there is very I mean, their house is very little and they are so poor. And I will try to make a video to one of the guy in the island that he lost his two hands because of the explosion and blind
Yeah.
with two eyes. Yes, but he is, despite of his situation, but he is independent. He can know how to hold the glass for to drink.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
But we want to know about you. Did you drink before? Did you smoke? Did you use shabu?
Um,
Did you ever work in a bar before? See, this is what we want to know, Sharon. We want to know that you're normal, that you're a regular
okay.
person, because just looking at you, you look so perfect.
Hmm.
You're up
Yes.
there, you got a nice house, it's you and your daughter and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. We want to know that you're, uh, you know, what's the word I'm using? You know,
Okay, me when I was young, I mean when I was not yet have my daughter, I spending time with my friends, but no voice, just only for the girls hanging out around, going to the disco, but always all of us was girls. And then before I was drink alcohol, but I slowly stopped because it's not good for health. And then especially I have a high uric acid, so I stopped now. And since I have my daughter, I didn't spend time hang out with my friends until now. I can go to karaoke from time to time, but not spending time
yeah,
with friends
right.
like
Now,
before.
Thomas A. said, not true, Sharon says, you can make content that doesn't necessarily have to be about you. And that's a fact, okay? But the point I'm trying to make, Thomas H., and this is just my perspective, okay, as somebody who's watched these channels, in the beginning, people want to know, you got to give them some kind of context. You just show up one day on screen and start talking. They're like, well, who are you to talk about uh, Filipino foreign relationships if you've never had a relationship with a foreigner before? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying get down to the dirty details, and say, one of my toes is cut off, and I'm going through menopause right now. I'm
Yeah.
not saying like that, Thomas. See, you guys, y'all so extreme over there, man. Lighten up. But the people do want to know. They want to
Yeah.
know. Are
Yeah.
you seeing anybody right now? Are you looking to see somebody? We just want to know that you're flawed like we are. And because if you keep way up here, you're gonna go over everybody's head. But we'll go on with that. But because I'm trying to help Sharon, y'all see what? Look, if you didn't think I was, listen to this, Gail. You're not gonna believe it. When Sharon, a friend of Sharon's asked me, he said, "Hey, can you have Sharon? Can you help Sharon?" And I said, "Sure." Sharon has 7 subscribers. How many you got now, Sharon?
I think 923.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you know, and most of it has to do with her, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to help her.
Yeah.
So Sharon, are you having all the subscribers? Because most subscribers are guys. They're trying to figure out if you're still single and free.
Yes, so much. But I am right now, I am not ready and I am focusing to my daughter because I don't want that my daughter is in the wrong path. I want her to be in a good path
Right.
for
I
And
her
said,
yeah,
future.
and you've
I
already
said,
said
oh,
on your videos when you're ready, you're ready. But I watch your videos and stuff, and I look at a lot of your comments. But it seemed like a lot of people are trying to push you into doing something you're not ready to do. Only you know what's right for you. Only you can make those certain decisions on
Yes.
what you want to do. With your life, with your daughter. People don't know what your life is like. They're not in your shoes. You know, they don't know. And I think what Kelvin's saying is, just you have to share a lot of personal stuff. But I like your videos when you went home, so we actually got a chance to see where did Sharon come from, and we saw it, and I liked it. I enjoyed it.
yeah. And kind of,
Yes, but
you know,
I was not enjoy riding a boat. Fortunately, the wave is not so very big because I am very afraid of wave because I was experience the very big wave.
yeah. Let me this guy makes a good point. He says she
Yeah.
can give us tips on life in the Philippines,
Mhm.
food, travel, and housing. She can keep it simple. Men will watch because she's pretty. See, this is what I'm kind of getting at. Like, people always say that they don't like the food in the Philippines. I don't understand what they're talking about. Yeah, there's some native stuff that I don't like, but hell, there's only so much you can do with chicken, pork, fish, and beef. It really sometimes boils down to who's doing the cooking.
Yeah.
But Sharon can kind of tell us, like, okay, what is a food that you think foreigners will like over here?
Like
Just
what
give
you
me
said,
one.
the lechon paksiw, pork humba, pansit, and lumpia, and pork afritada, chicken afritada, and especially now there are some people make a chicken gordon and seafoods here in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Now, what about something you think? Now, don't say balut, but one food. No. Listen to me. What's one food that we should stay away from that Filipinos love it, but we're not going to like it?
Mm. Balut, because I don't eat balut and I don't
No,
know.
no,
Yeah.
no. Besides balut, don't
Um,
don't include balut.
Dried fish.
Oh
No,
yeah.
that's not too bad. That's
Ah,
really not too bad.
no,
Well, you
I
don't
can't.
like that, Gail?
I I can't eat anything that I don't like the smell. I'm sorry. I'll
Well,
throw
hey,
one out
that ain't
there.
bad.
My wife loves seaweed. She loves that fresh seaweed, and I did
Yeah.
try it, and it's tolerable, but it's not anything that I'm going to be like, hey, give me some of that seaweed.
Have you ever tried it though? When they put it in, what does she have it like in vinegar or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They got
She
different types. I like that little spongy can. I've tried that. Um,
no, thank you.
but once you cook the dried fish, it doesn't stink anymore, does it? Once it's finished, once you cook it, it don't smell as bad. It don't smell as bad. But
Well,
if you have,
I'll put it to you this way: I have choices, and there are plenty of other
yeah,
choices.
yeah, yeah, you're right. But I love dried fish now. I haven't eaten it in San Carlos, but when I was in Zamboanga, I eat it all the time. It tastes just like, to me, country ham. You From where you are from, Gail, I know you've tasted country ham, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's what it tastes like. I
Yep.
promise you.
Huh. Well,
Yeah,
I haven't tried it, so I'll have to. I can't argue that, but it just smells so bad. Whew.
yeah. I didn't think I was going to like fish sauce. Man, I would rather have fish sauce, especially on my uh, seafood, than soy sauce now. Just stuff that I never imagined I would like. Like, have you ever had shrimp paste spread?
No, but I had the shrimp sauce. I mean, was it fish sauce? I didn't even know what it was. And then I put
Yeah,
it on the dish, and it tasted very good.
yeah, it
You
tastes
know,
very good.
oh
The,
yeah,
the, that
I've
shrimp
seen it.
paste.
I know what it is. She has it, but I've never tried it.
Now the shrimp paste is funky. It's got the
Yeah.
funky smell, but man, it's delicious. If you put it on, like you have boiled eggs, you dip it in that shrimp paste. You have green beans. I mean, it's delicious, but it's funky. But you get yeah.
Calvin, have you ever eaten the salted eggs? That's what they call it.
I have,
How
but
about you, Sharon? Is that one of the dishes they have? The salted
Um,
eggs?
yes, the color is pink
Different.
or violet. Yes,
Yeah,
pink or
something
violet.
like
But
that.
I've never eat that. Some of my friend cook with that salty egg and pot tomato, but I never taste it.
Yeah, because Lynn eats that, but I never tasted it. I don't know. I guess because the way it looks.
Mm.
I'm not saying it's anything bad. Okay. Something happened, Sharon.
Yes,
Looks like just me
they
and
are
you. Okay.
gone.
Well, so I guess since it's me and you probably can interview me now.
We got, yeah, we
Yeah.
got a brownout going on. That's why.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why Gail ended up missing. Missing in action too,
Yeah.
because he's right around the corner from me. But I'm back now because I'm using my cell phone now. But
Okay.
yeah, here lately, man, we've been getting these little short brownouts just about every day. I mean, without warning, they don't last long. See, now this is not going to last for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, I hope. Otherwise, I'm liable to have a heart attack over here. Because, the heat over here, man, there's no air.
Because actually I thought it was me at first. I said, what happened? I thought, I lost my signal and all that.
No, it's
Okay. Everybody.
it's a little brownout over here. Now he says,
Oh, okay.
at King Arthur, hello, King. I'm not too crazy about the liver, but fried catfish is okay. But I tell you what, I like the chicken liver. I don't like the pork liver. Is that what y'all eat, the pork liver or the beef liver? What other liver is besides chicken? Yeah, the chicken liver is delicious. You tried that, Fred?
No, because be honest
Have you
with you,
tried that?
Calvin, I got this phobia about chicken. No, I've never tried it. If I get chicken, it has to be filleted or it has to be cut. I can't eat chicken if it's on the bone or gizzards and all that. We sort of had a lot of that
Okay,
when I was
yeah.
growing up, and I was never a fan of it.
Now let me ask you, Sharon, what is your favorite meal that you cook?
I don't have favorite. I mean, I like chicken and pork and beef.
Right, but I mean, what's your go-to meal if you got company coming over and you're saying, "Yeah, I want to impress him." You're not gonna boil a
Okay.
piece of chicken and put it on the plate.
Okay, chicken afritada.
Okay, chicken
Afritada.
africata.
Yes.
What is that? Chicken with an afro or something?
No, chicken with there is potato, carrots, bell pepper, and pork and bean sauce.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think your mother made that for Mom Abataya last night. Chicken
Well,
africata.
I'm gonna tell
Africata.
one of my favorite dishes. My sister-in-law, she cooks it. It's soup, but the juice looks like milk. Then you can put veggies in there. You put noodles in there. You can do liver if you want. You can do beef, but I can't remember what they call it. If you know what I mean, it's a soup that looks like the juice looks like milk.
Perhaps she put coconut milk.
But it's a dish. I'm trying to think the name of it, and I don't know the right name. I can't think of it right now. It's been 3 years since I had it, but she always cooks it for me, anytime I come to the Philippines. I have to ask Lynn later what the name of the dish is.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, her mother makes what's that dish that you make with bamboo shoots, Sharon? You use coconut milk,
Fresh.
bamboo.
I think vegetable soup or fresh lumpia.
The boom?
Dabong.
Zaboom?
Yeah, dabong is dabong.
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 Yeah, that's delicious. I love that.
Yes.
That sounds like you're blowing
Yeah, I
something
like
up.
that.
Boom.
And also
Yeah.
I don't know how to call that, puso ng saging. The end of the red part of the banana when they have banana fruits, and then they have at the end. You can cook it also, boiled water, and and then you can put coconut milk and a few vinegar. It's delicious also.
You know what I like, Sharon, that my wife cooks is it's a small bananas, the banana lumpia,
Mhm.
and when she cooks that
Yes.
up, all that tastes good because you only got a certain
Turon.
type of banana. Yeah, you can use it because you can't use a regular
Mhm.
big American sized banana. It doesn't work. It's the small bananas, you know,
Yes.
that comes out pretty
Yeah,
good.
they
So
call
I really love
that.
that.
It's not really a lumpia. What do they call that? Where you wrap
Well,
those
what they put
Turon.
in, but they
now.
put in lumpia wrapper and you fry it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
So
Tyrone. And what
Yeah,
you
Turon.
do is you put banana and they put jackfruit over here with and some type of special sauce,
yeah,
and it's delicious, man.
yeah, it's good because we have
Yeah, I'm with
jackfruit here
you.
Caramelized.
also,
Yeah,
you know, and it's good. It's a lot of stuff I do eat. I just don't know the names of it sometimes. You know, when I was telling you about it, I just called it banana lumpia. It's what I
yeah,
call it. You know?
yeah. Banana lumpia.
But it's good. You know, when she cooks that up.
What
You
eat it
know, what Lynn does when she cooks
back
Filipino
back in
food,
the
she puts
day?
her twist to it. You know, and cook it differently. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I can eat it.
were in the
Well,
70s.
Calvin's got a bad connection.
Yeah, I know, cause I'm using my data.
Yeah. Oh,
Mm.
okay. Well, no problem because you know you can be the OG and Sharon Lapu Lapu show. You know, Sharon may be trying to get some extras for her panel. She's going to be putting together. You know, especially when Kelvin had brownouts there. You know, so oh, there you go. That's it. You see what Camilla Cookie said?
Sopas.
Sopas. That's the one I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Now, I like that. And
Yeah, he
that's my
says
favorite.
lower the boom. Ah, okay.
Well,
Yeah. See, G5 says it's a brownout over here.
okay. Calvin, have you ever thought about getting yourself
Yeah.
maybe a little small portable generator just to run a fan or something? The small ones are not noisy. You know, I mean, you can put a tank of gas in there, they'll run for 8 hours or more. At least just have the fan circulating, or when you got your live show, that probably would help out. It's not like you need it all the time, but it's coming in handy because I've actually
Yeah.
got a generator
Well,
I'm
I'm
shipping
definitely going
over
to
to
do
the
that.
Philippines. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into that now. That's not. I need an electrician to hook that up, right?
No, you really don't want to hook it into your house. You can run some extension cords from it and just run it right on in just to power your stand fan or some other stuff you want to do. You know, unless you're trying to wire it into your house. I'm only talking about a little small portable one you can actually pick up and carry, not one of those big 6K
Oh,
or
okay. And then
5K generators.
you plug everything into there. You
Well,
plug
you
it in there.
can plug stuff in. But, the bigger generators are noisy, where the small ones are not that noisy. Portable one you can carry around with you if you just want to run a fan or something, you
Yeah,
know,
but you
or
can't
you're doing
bring
your
that
live
in.
stream.
You can't bring that in the house.
Oh no, it's outside. All you're gonna be doing
The
is running
house?
extension cords in, or you can actually have electricians have certain outlets. So when you do run it, it just run maybe a few outlets. That's about it, where you don't overpower your generator. You can always do that too. What I had before I closed my carport and made this room, behind these doors over here, I actually got a plug where I used to turn off my master switch and I would plug my generator into it. And it would run everything in the house except for the ACs.
Yeah. Now these guys, they don't realize that solar panels over here are they're the new digital watches. Remember digital watches first came out?
I sure do.
Then the next thing you know, they was a penny. You can go to
Yep.
Walmart right now and get one for
Where's Sharon? It's up to me and you again. You know, hopefully the power will come back on soon. What do you have? Do you
Yes.
have a lot of down at Lapu Lapu? Do you have a lot of power outages there?
No, so far no, not so much brown out. But if it's ever brown if ever there is a brown out, it's just only 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then
Yeah,
after the electricity came back.
because
Yeah, because
Calvin. Yeah,
because all the lines here are new since
yes,
after the Typhoon Odette, because when it was a Typhoon Odette, all the electric posts fall down
yeah,
on the street, so they need to wiring a new one.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, I got solar panels on my house here, and I do that because we're here on the island. Guam is not that big, and we're in an area we have a lot of storms. You have typhoon. We haven't had any in years, but I remember when they go out, your power could be out for weeks or even for a month at a time before you got any power back. And that's why I wanted to buy a generator, and that's what I used to run during the daytime. But they got a noise ordinance. You can't run it at night because it's too noisy. So, I would shut it down at 10. And then, if you don't get any air flowing through the house, then it was like you were in a oven. You'd be sweating all night trying to sleep.
Yes.
And Kelvin was saying solar panels is still pretty new there in the Philippines, and you don't know who's a good company, who's not. So my recommendation is just wait a little bit, until you got a more reliable company, and it's not going to
Yes.
cost you a fortune. And in the Philippines, I don't know, because Calvin, you have a smaller house, so you share it. I think the solar panels I have on my home here would probably power your whole house with no problem.
Mm.
So the only thing I did was I
That's
just
free.
got certain areas of the house. If the power goes out, I still got power here in certain parts of the house. So I don't lose any of my Wi-Fi or anything like that. And I got one AC that's on the solar panels. That's in the bedroom at night when you're sleeping. Because that's the only time you really need AC anyway.
Yes, in our islands, Sir Fred, most of the people now using solar panel
Yeah,
because there
see,
is
Yeah.
no
my thing is right
electricity.
now, everybody
Go ahead,
knows
Calvin.
that how much I pay for my house. I'll be damned
Yeah.
if I'm gonna put a solar panel system in here that costs more than my house right now. I've just got to work on more realistic. Sharon,
Excuse me?
panels.
Okay, solar panel is, I think it's not quite expensive. If you would like to buy so much battery so that you can use aircon, refrigerator, it costs you more. I think
Hey,
it costs you
yeah.
mm,
Well, see,
because
solar
Hey guys,
panels are
I'm
no
gonna have to
good.
get off here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is not gonna work. This ain't gonna work. If it comes back on in the next 20 minutes, um, so we'll come back on. But this
Okay.
this ain't gonna get it, guys. I appreciate all your super chats, super stickers, thumbs up, and all your support of Sunshine Shoulders. We'll come back on if the power comes back on. Okay.
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 Just let me know.